Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm building a full production grade AI voice agent for a financial advisor, live start to finish. It answers every single call 24/7, qualifies new prospects, and emails the advisor everything they need to follow up. As a bonus, I'll be showing you a way to schedule appointments with voice agents without actually having to schedule them. I'm going to build it, test it, and deploy all the automations around it. Basically, you're getting a front row seat as to how I actually build production grade systems now, augmented by Claude code. If you're new to the channel, my name is Mark. I run my own voice AI agency. I've scaled it to 11K in my highest month, building systems exactly like this one for real businesses. And also the best part is I'm giving away all the resources you need to follow along completely free. I'm assuming before we dive in that you have a base understanding of Claude code and Retell AI, but if not, I've linked some videos down below to get you up to speed. With that said, let's dive into the demo.
Thanks for calling Oak Street Investments. This is Kate. How can I help you?
Hey, Kate, I was wondering if you could help me set up an investment portfolio. I just inherited a lot of money.
Absolutely. I can help get you connected with Jake for that. Can I get your full name?
Yes, my name is Mark Tomlet.
Thanks, Mark. Is the number you're calling from the best one to reach you?
Actually, sorry, that's Tomlet, okay? And yes, this number's fine.
All right. I've got Mark Tomlet, Tomlet, and this number is best. What prompted you to reach out today, besides the inheritance?
Well, just because I heard you guys were the best.
Got it. Thanks, Mark. Roughly, what's the total value of the accounts or assets you'd be looking for help with?
It's just like 30 billion.
A ballpark. All right. Jake will reach out within a couple business days to get something on the calendar. Is there anything else I can help you with, Mark?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
You got it. Have a great day, Mark.
All right, now let's go check our inbox. I would be the financial advisor in this case, receiving an email from a new prospect. And here we see, click, and look, there it is, new call, new prospect. I've got my phone number right here, why they called, nice, simple, and clean, and Mark inherited a large sum of money and wants help setting it up with Jake. Assets mentioned 30 billion, referral source, and then email. We can even press this button right here, listen to recording. It'll download the recording. Now, this is only one of 3 different scenarios this agent will be able to handle. Let's dive in. I always like to start with the problem we're solving before building the voice agent. And for financial advisors, the problem's pretty large. Here's some hard facts. 85% of callers who reach your voicemail hang up and never call back, 62% of which immediately call a competitor. For a financial advisor, one missed prospect call can mean 50K in lifetime fees gone. Now, the average financial advisor loses about 3 to 5 prospect calls per week to voicemail, and at a 50% close rate, assuming, that's $115,000 a year just walking out the door. Now, this voice agent fixes that. In order for this assistant to work, we need to define the 6 cases it will need to handle over the phone. For the average, done a lot of research, and for the average financial advisor, you can break them down into these 6 buckets. You have existing client scheduling, new prospects, document admin requests, vendors, wholesalers, and spam, other, and then market anxiety calls. Let's break down each one, and let me give you an overview of what this agent will do. So essentially, for scheduling, we are not actually booking into an appointment with this assistant. We're just sending an email. There's 2 reasons for this. Number one, it gives the client, the financial advisor, a lot more control over their clients, who to choose versus who to reject. Number 2, it takes a lot less time, effort, and energy to build out a voice agent that just sends an email than to build one that integrates with a CRM or with a calendar. So for a phase 1 deployment, this is perfect and the lowest friction. That's why I like this solution. For an existing client scheduling, that's about 35% of the calls coming in. Typically, this is something like financial advisors who are already working with certain clients who just want to schedule a quarterly review. The AI would simply capture the request and then email the advisor. Same for new prospects, except the AI actually qualifies them and asks a few questions before sending them directly to the financial advisor's email. Now, 15% of the calls are document and admin requests, like people asking, hey, where's my 1099? I need to update my address. We can actually program the agent to answer most of these questions directly from the website or otherwise. Vendors, spam, tire kickers, AI will just block these, won't waste any time sending emails. 10% of the calls are also people calling in, maybe afraid of a recent change in the markets, the AI can either flag it, send a direct email to the financial advisor if needed, or handle it itself. It's the AI's call. And then 5% are just miscellaneous. So in a nutshell, this is what happens in 5 steps. The phone rings, the AI answers, the AI identifies who's calling and why, whether it's a new prospect, existing client, or what otherwise, routes them down the right call flow. 3, handles the request, answers whatever questions they may have. The call ends, and then Retell AI analyzes it for the call transcript summary. And then after the fact, if follow-up is needed, it will actually send that formatted email. If it's not needed, then it just stores it in our database in Retell AI. It's as simple as that. And by the way, if you're wondering, this entire document is available completely for free below. If you want to follow along as I'm presenting this, please do. So this is what this scenario actually looks like, just as a flow diagram. The AI answers the call, says, okay, what do you need? Now, if it's a new prospect, we'll go down over here. We'll qualify them with their name, contact, situation, assets, referral source, capture their preferred meeting time, typically by saying we meet normally on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and then we will send what we call an appointment request. That is saying basically someone will reach out in the next 24 hours to confirm your appointment. This isn't an official appointment confirmation right now. And then we'll end the call. The second call might be a referral from a CPA or attorney. The agent needs to be programmed to handle that as well. It'll look very similar to the new prospect flow, and then capture the preferred meeting time and, of course, confirm it. The next is the existing client. There's 4 scenarios here. Scheduling, capture the request and the preferred time. We'll confirm your appointment within 24 hours. Market anxiety, someone's concerned, they have questions about the market. The agent can answer or flag as an urgent priority, send as an email to the advisor with the recording. 4th is like a document request. Maybe they're asking for some specific tax documents from the financial advisor. And this can either be something that the AI can handle immediately, or maybe something that needs a human. If it does need a human, well, again, we will send an email. Now, of course, if you wanted to not send emails, you could send SMS, you could send Slack messages. It just depends on what you're looking for. But for us, the simplest is just setting up email in this case, so that's what we're doing. Admin change, same idea, take some details of what's needed. Maybe they want to cancel their membership with the financial advisor, however it works. And then we just send a post-call analysis email to the advisor. Vendor and spam, we just deflect. That's pretty much the entire flow and what it looks like. And now that you have an idea of what we're building, here's the actual prompt that will take our idea and turn it into reality. So this is what I call a general financial advisory prompt. And what we're going to do is apply it to a specific business. So let's start off by copying the prompt right here. You can copy it right along with me. Bring it over to Retell AI. We'll create a new agent, make it a single prompt agent, just blank canvas, brand new. And what I want to do is just paste this right in here for now. We can publish it so that it saves. And I've already chosen the company I'm going to be building this for, Oak Street Investments, just a random one I found on the internet. So once I've defined what I'm building for, what I need to do is customize this general prompt for this specific business. And the best way I found to do that is to actually use Claude Code. If you're not familiar with Claude Code, you can watch my video below on it, but it is by far the most powerful development tool for voice AI and just your life in general if you want to be an absurdly optimized person. So what I'll do is take the website here that I'm referencing, and I want to plug it into Claude Code, Oak Street Investments, and I want to give it all of the context. So I'm going to tell Claude Code, first and foremost, type in M to start Claude Code. It's a little hotkey I made. Start it with the flag, dangerously skip permissions. I'm going to use Whisper Flow because it saves a lot of time. And I'm going to say, I have this voice agent I'm building for financial advisors. I'm building it for this website right here, Oak Street. And I want you to apply the general prompt framework for financial advisors to this specific financial advisor. Here's the agent. And then what I'll do is copy just this agent ID right here, paste it into Claude, just like so. And then I will go right over here to my Retell AI API key so that Retell can be accessed by Claude Code directly. I'll just go to this API key and paste it in, Retell API key. Keep in mind, before I hit enter, I want you to understand I'm running a fresh instance of Claude Code. So this is not pre-programmed or pre-trained. I wanted to do it this way so that we'd all be on the same starting ground, same level. And I'll just say to Claude, also, if you need to research any of the Retell API settings so that you can interact with my voice agent, go ahead and do that. And then I'll also tell it what I want the prompt to entail. And for best prompting practices, follow what's in the prompt already, but also add multi-shot examples. Multi-shot or examples are examples of the conversation between the agent and the caller, how the agent's supposed to talk and how the caller's supposed to respond for each flow. And I want Claude Code to write those out for me so I don't have to do it. Make sure to put agent and then colon, caller, agent, caller, back and forth so that it understands. I'm giving it everything here, and that's everything I need. It has access to Retell AI, it has the agent, it has the website. All right, go. Now it's going to begin working. What's really cool is once it's done, it'll just update within my Retell AI account. I won't even have to copy and paste anything, which is nice. Now, while that's cooking up, I want to configure my voice, my speech settings, and my LLM settings. Starting with over here, the LLM I'm using is 4.1 fast tier. This is recorded as of March 26, 2026, and I still recommend this LLM over even the newest models. It's just the most conversationally optimized by far, even though it's a little bit older of an LLM. I'll hit fast tier. That'll perform better. Now, in terms of voices, I've been using Minimax for a while, but I actually like the new 11 Labs V3 a little bit better than Minimax. That being said, it's not as good as the voice you hear natively in 11 Labs Agent Builder, but the V3 model here does punch above its weight class. It is impressive. So in order to do that, I'll go over to Custom Providers, 11 Labs, and I want to choose, let's see where it is. This one, it's very real. Catherine, use voice. And in order to enable V3, I'll hit auto, change it to 11 Labs V3. Notice the price will increase quite a bit. I'll also change the voice speed to about 10%, a little bit faster, and then tag this dynamically adjust based on user input for realism so it can toggle the voice speed during the call. Now, if you notice, my price just did double. As a matter of fact, it is 32 cents per minute. It's a little bit on the pricier end, but I do think for a case like this, the extra realism you get is definitely worth it. It just depends on what you're going for. Okay, now that that's saved, what I want to do, and by the way, I may end up changing this back to 4.1 mini, but I'll have to test both. I like mini because the latency is better, even though you get a little bit less intelligence. Latency can be managed right here, as you probably know, and it's a good practice to be paying attention to that. The second thing I'm also paying attention to is tokens. Prompts exceeding 3,500 tokens will incur a surcharge. That's true. But what they don't tell you is that prompts that go over 6, 7, 8,000 tokens even will be more prone to making the agent hallucinate. The agent will be less likely to follow the prompt because there's just so much information in there. I like to keep them, if I'm going to go over this amount, at around 5,000. Now, in terms of speech settings and real-time transcription settings, there are a few things I'd like to customize. First being background sound. I want the coffee shop background sound, and I like it at around 0.8. Sounds best. Response eagerness, I want maxed latency. I'll keep that at 1. Interruption sensitivity, I like this a little bit lower, at around 83. 80 is fine. And then real-time transcription settings. These two settings are incredibly important, okay? In production, depending on the noise environment of the caller, we'll have to change this. But in general, remove noise is typically the best. If you have no denoising on, this denoising feature, if you don't know what it is, it filters out unwanted background noise or speech. If you have no denoising, the agent is more likely to pick up background information and then it'll trip up the conversation. If you turn on remove noise, and especially if you turn on remove noise plus background speech, it does work, but you increase the risk that it will mess up what or cut off what the caller is trying to say into the voice agent and then derail the conversation. So I like a good in between it around remove noise just right here. Transcription mode is also something you need to play with. I like to normally optimize for speed. So in other words, the longer this agent waits to process what the caller has just said, the more accurate it will be in interpreting what the caller just said, more accurate the transcription. But again, the longer the time, the less realistic it's going to sound and perform. So I like to keep this optimized for speed. There's also an option for custom settings, and you can precisely control just how much of the trade-off between speed and accuracy you want. Okay, that's it. I'm going to hit publish. And now let's check on Claude Code. And now it's building everything out still. So it's taking its sweet time, which is totally fine. I want to keep configuring the settings while it's still building. A few other settings that are important are obviously, let's just configure the welcome message to be AI speaks first, custom message. And I always like to put a pause before speaking at around 1 second, 1 to 2 seconds. Just is because the time that the call is ringing sometimes can take a little bit longer, and then the agent can start speaking before the call is fully connected, and then the person won't hear the welcome message. So it's good to have a little buffer space there. In the welcome message, I like to say something like this. Thanks for calling XYZ Oak Street Investments, let's say. And then I want to say, this is Kate on a recorded line. This option you can say if you're in a two-party or one-party consent state. You need to research which state you're in, depending on whether this is actually needed or not. Now, you could also say, this is Kate, the virtual receptionist, but please talk to me just like you would a normal person. How can I help you? So there's two routes basically you could go down. Either you identify yourself as an AI at the beginning of the conversation, which is what a lot of businesses want, and that's how you do this here. You need to include a clause that says, please talk to me like a normal person. Otherwise, people will think the AI is like a dumb IVR, and then they'll start saying number one, number two, number three, and it ruins everything. So you got to be careful there. On the flip side, though, if you don't want to disclose it's an AI at the beginning of the call, you can do it in certain states. Just check your laws. Then I'd simply say something like, this is Kate. How can I help you? Can keep it as simple as that. I'll keep it like that just for simplicity right now. Okay. All right, and I see Claude now is trying to send over the prompt to Retell. It's encountering some error for some reason. So what I'm just going to say for the sake of time is, okay, never mind. Just give me the prompt you built, and I'll copy and paste it here quickly. So what I'll do is just paste the whole prompt right in here. That Claude code so nicely made for us. Now there's a few things though I want to customize. This is by far the most laborious process, but it's also the most important. Every issue can be traced back to a prompting issue. So what I like to say in general, is, first and foremost, spend most of your time on prompting. Come to intimately understand your prompt. Don't just rely on Claude Code or other tools to build these prompts for you and then call it a day. You got to do the hard work yourself. So in this case, we've got some work to go through here, but let's do it together. That way you'll get to see my thinking as I edit this prompt. So it says, you are Sarah, the AI receptionist. This is the role. Perfect. Greenwood Village, Colorado. Your job is to answer inbound questions, figure out what the caller needs, handle what you can, and capture information for Jake. Okay, that's great. Current time and day is this. Critical compliance rules. This is a dynamic variable. So what you can do with Retell is go like this, and you'll see all the dynamic variables that Retell offers you by default, and you can use any one of them you want. Critical compliance rules. We like to put rules at the top with these LLMs because they respect the information that's placed at the top or the bottom, not so much what's in the middle, not as much at least. You're not a financial advisor. You cannot notice these agents respond to rules in a case-sensitive way. So the capital letters do, at least in my experience, help in reinforcing the agent's behavior. You cannot give investment advice, market predictions. You cannot access, look up, or disclose any account information. Never say the market will recover or anything that could be interpreted as a recommendation. If asked about markets, say, I understand the markets have been on your mind. I'll make sure that Jake reaches out. That's fine. Personality. Warm, never verbose, never fluffy or extra. Be super concise, never verbose, never volunteer information unless explicitly asked. The reason we put this, and I actually like to add another extra line, is because these agents are naturally very verbose. So if you don't say something like, do not be chatty, be almost professionally curt, then these agents in general will kind of overly talk and it sounds unrealistic. Use and I'm going to say not in every other sentence, but use and occasionally. What I like to do more is actually occasionally. I like to put where the agent will use and directly in its transcript. If the user says hold on, reply exactly with the following. This no response needed clause is actually a specially created Retell AI clause that will stop the LLM from speaking reliably, always 100% of the time. Now, we define the primary objective. This is the goal. There is a lot of structure here, so think about, in all of our prompts, I like to have rules, steps, and skills, these 4 principles. And when you're prompting, you're going to begin to see this. Like personality would fall under the role, primary objective would be under the steps of what this agent needs to accomplish. Okay. So for a lot of this, I'm going to skim through it, but for the important parts, I want to edit it. Firm knowledge base. All right, so one thing we need to do is actually create the knowledge base that this agent will need to reference. So what we can do is actually train the agent off of the client's website just by going over the website, go to Retell AI, go to the knowledge base section. And what I'll do is create a new knowledge base. Let's just say Oak Street. Add, we'll put in add web pages, put the URL, hit save, select site maps, and I'll just hit select all. And then what I can do is hit save and press this button right here, update existing content every 24 hours. It's really powerful so that our agent will always stay up to date with the information that's on the website. I'll hit save and it'll begin training it off the website and grabbing this knowledge base. Now I've already went ahead and actually done this when I was researching for this video. So what I'll do is take the knowledge base it already made, which saves a little time, bring it back and attach it to the agent just like so. Financial advisor knowledge base, and now it's fully attached. We can adjust some knowledge base retrieval settings if you want to get into that, but it's a little advanced. All right, perfect. So now I'll just say to it, for the knowledge base, always reference this directly in the prompt. It's important you put this because the more accurate it'll be when it knows where to get the information from. Firm knowledge base. Say this. Here's all of this information here directly in the prompt, and then I'm also going to add extra info KB. And then I'm going to put a hard rule that says rule. If the answer is not in the knowledge base or in the prompt, just professionally say, I don't know. By adding a clause like this, you dramatically reduce the chances of this agent hallucinating when it does know the answer to something. Essentially, the way I like to do this is put the most important information in the prompt, like where is the firm located? Who is the financial advisor? You know, what are the office numbers? Everything like this. But then extra miscellaneous information we can put into the knowledge base. That way we don't clunk up the system prompt with unnecessary information, but we do ensure the questions callers are most likely to ask about will be handled immediately, and we won't have to hope that the knowledge base works. Right, let's get into the rules. It says open every caller with this call may be recorded. We don't need to include that because we've already defined the welcome message. Delete this. Here's some rules. Number 2, keep responses 1 to 2 sentences. This is a phone call, not a pitch deck. I like that. I'll say 1 to 3 sentences, and I'll just say max. Use the caller's name once you have it. Okay. Sometimes that can be risky, though. Use natural confirmations. Got it, of course, absolutely. Use contractions. If you don't know something, say... Actually, instead of got it, I'll say alrighty. It's a little bit more realistic. If you don't know something, say I don't have access to that information, but I can make sure Jake gets back to you with an answer. That's perfect. Never push back, convince. Say, are you sure if someone's not interested? Okay. Confirm critical info by spelling it back. Only do a final full confirmation right before wrapping up. Speech normalization. This is good to know. When speaking information back to the caller, convert numbers and abbreviations to natural speech. Convert prices like $9,800 to $9,800, not 9800. By default, these agents will just read them out numerically in a robotic way, whereas like a receptionist would say it in human spoken form. Same for houses, street abbreviations, so on and so forth. Spelling out emails. Now, I'm going to decide whether to use email or not in this. I may actually opt in against it, but for the sake of this, it's good to understand. If you do want to collect email on the phone, understand it's harder for the agent to collect email than collecting phone number. But if you are going to do it, make sure to do it this way. The Retell AI optimizes a special format for this, which is the possible email format is this, gives an example, and then says to spell out an email address, always use dashes in between, like name at company.com. At is pronounced at. If the customer is using Gmail, don't spell out Gmail, just say at gmail.com. If the customer is using Yahoo, don't spell it out. So it gives an example. But these dashes, the LLM will intentionally slow down to say, otherwise it'll speed through it. Now call flows. This is the steps part of the prompt. We've got flow 1, flow 2, flow 3, flow 4, flow 5, 6, 7, 8, and then some sample conversations for the flows. Let's go through these. New prospect. We give it a little bit of a trigger here. Caller says they're looking for a financial advisor, want help with investment, retirement planning, or found the website. I'll just leave it to this. Planning. I'd be happy to help you connect with Jake. Can I get your name? And what's the best phone number and email to reach you? What prompted you to reach out today? Okay, so this is the full flow. Now, here's the thing. There's two ways to do this. We could leave these flows as is, or we could just delete these flows and use the multi-shot examples, because notice these flows look very similar. Notice flow 1 to our example of a new prospect. So here's the example 1. These are the most important. Remember that these agents are better pattern matchers than they are rule followers. So the better the pattern, the better the agent's going to perform. Agent, this call may be reported. Thank you for calling. This is Sarah. How can I help you? I'll just delete this part. Caller says, hi. Yeah, I'm looking for a financial advisor. I found your website. Agent says, I'd be happy to help you connect with Jake. Can I get your name? This is perfect. I actually think that we could delete the flows. Remember, I want to intentionally reduce tokens. So I'll delete this for now. I think this looks pretty good. Sure, it's David. Here's what that looks like. Okay. If we need to add them back, we will, but I think for now it's probably fine. Delete this. We could maybe keep the small ones. So hostile, rude caller, how to handle them. Vendors or solicitation, we could keep that. Questions about services. Answer from firm knowledge base section if they seem interested. These are small, but I think these ones I'll delete. Call flows. All right, making some judgments here. Sample conversations. So let's read through these flows and then go to the sample conversations. So, okay. Flow 5. Documents. Caller needs a 1099 tax address change beneficiary update. For documents, say your documents should be available through your client portal at Schwab or Altruist. Would you like me to have someone send you the login instructions? Now, if they can't access it, I'll say, I'll have Jake's team get that to you. Can I confirm your name and email? For admin changes, those changes require some paperwork. I'll have the email sent to you. Can I confirm your email? Okay, that's good. Questions about services. Caller asks about what Oak Street offers or how much it costs. Okay. I might add or displays interests in services and learning more. Then I'll say answer firm knowledge section, keep it brief, only what was asked, only answer what was asked. If they seem interested, would you like me to capture your info so that Jake can reach out for an introductory call? If they say yes, we'd go through transition to flow 1. Instead of flow 1, I'm just going to call it example 1. example one. That's okay. Flow 7, vendor solicitation. We handle vendors by email. You're welcome to send information to info@oak-street, and someone will review it. Have a great day. End call using end call function. That's fine. Hostile caller, end call, do not engage. Abusive or hostile. Okay, trigger if the caller is aggressive, abusive, or hostile. That's a little bit vague. Could be ambivalent. So let's just say trigger if the caller is being, let's just say that. That's probably fine. After hours behavior, if calling outside Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Now, here's something we can do that's interesting with the agent. We can have the agent at the outset of the conversation change its behavior based on the time that the caller is calling in. So in this case, though, I actually think that's not necessary. If calling outside Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Time, I don't think it's necessary. I can text. Yeah. The agent's going to be performing the exact same way. The only time that this might be necessary to qualify after hours behavior is if we were doing a call transfer to someone in the apartment, in the department, excuse me. But since we're not, I'm going to get rid of it. Sample conversations. New prospect found website. So here's the meat and potatoes of it. Let's go through. Caller says, hi, this is multi-shot prompting, by the way. Notice how it says caller and then agent, caller and agent. This is probably by far the most important part of your prompting. So you got to get it right. Caller says, hi, yeah, I'm looking for a financial advisor. I found your website. Agent says, I'd be happy to help you connect. Can I get your name? I like that. It's David Chen. Instead of just your name, I would say your full name to be precise. Got it. Say, thanks, David. And what's the best phone number and email to reach you? It's 303. Now, I don't like that because we can already use the user number. So we can already use the number that Retell AI recognizes from the person's phone number. So we'll just say and I don't like out to asking two questions in one either. So I'll say, and is the number you're calling from the best one to reach you? And then if they say yes, say yes. I'm not going to do email right now. I think it's okay without. Yes. And I'll put in parentheses, then capture their phone number as user number. This is the special Retell AI dynamic variable that is the caller's phone number. Okay, perfect. Agent, okay. Okay, perfect. I don't want it to repeat it back even. Okay, perfect, and that's great. Yes, okay, perfect. Perfect. What prompted you to reach out today? And I'll just take this, put it here. Good. Caller, I just got a big RSU vest from my company and I have no idea what to do with it, plus retirement planning, all that. Agent says, makes sense. Just so I can connect you with the right information, roughly what's the total value of the accounts you'd be looking for help with? A ballpark's totally fine. A ballpark is totally fine. Probably around 800,000 between everything. Got it. And how do you hear about us? Just Google fee. Okay, so Jake is pretty selective about taking on new clients. There's usually about an 8 to 10 week wait list. He'll reach out personally, set up an introductory call. Does that work for you? Yeah, that's fine. I'm not in a huge rush. Perfect. I've captured everything, Jake. We'll reach out. Is there anything else I can help you with? Beautiful. This is really good, actually. I'm surprised Claude Code built it out as much as I would have already built it out myself. You always want to end the call by saying, is there anything else I can help you with beforehand? Don't forget that. You got it. Have a great day. And we'll just say, invoke and call function. Referral from CPA, delete this part. Hi, my accountant told me I should call you. Referrals are always, can I get your full name? We'll make these changes. My CPA. And is the number you're calling from the best one to reach you? We'll do the same thing we did earlier. If yes, store user number. The cool part about Retell is, let's just do this right here, user number. I'll copy that. I love these dynamic variables that Retell offers you. There's quite a few of them. I recommend you learn all that there are. I'm not going to do email. The reason I don't want to do email is, in general, it's something that the agent is more likely to get tripped over, and I don't want to deal with it if I can avoid it, okay? I'm a physician, makes sense. It goes through, ask the total evaluation. Is there anything else I can help you with, Lisa? This is great. Okay, we'll go through it to schedule my review. Of course, can I get your name? Mark Thompson. Good. Sometimes next week, I'll pass along your request for semi-annual review Tuesday or Wednesday morning next week. Sounds good. Market anxiety call. This is good. Document admin request. I need my 1099. Okay, got it. I'll have my team get that to you directly. Can I confirm your name and email? Now, let's say the agent is asking for the email, in this case for a document admin request. It's more likely that we'll actually need their email. In that case, what I'd want to do is, let's just say, can I confirm your name and email? I want the agent to spell it back correctly. So the person goes robertkim@yahoo.com. Okay, Robert, that's robert.kim@yahoo.com. That's actually not right. I'd like to say, spell it out. That's ROBE, and just tell the agent using the dashes. The key here is to ensure consistency between the multi-shot examples and our rules that we put at the top. And since our rules said to spell it out, we need to be consistent with that throughout the entire prompt. Yes, perfect. Someone from our team will get back to you. Anything else? No, that's all. All right. Have a great day, Robert. Perfect. What's this thing? Mr. Fee service request. Let's go through this quick. That's interesting. Okay, it's asking some questions about fees. What's your email? And then I'll just say, what's the best phone number? I'll delete this part. I'll put this exact part as before. And what prompted you to look into a new advisor? Great. Vendor solicitation. It handles all of these cases quite well. Now, I think one of the most important parts, that's pretty much it on this front. But the most important thing I like to say in these prompts is, at the beginning, do not follow this as a straight, rigid set. Otherwise, if you don't tell it that, I've noticed these agents will blow past the callers when they ask questions because they're so concerned about following the exact prompt verbatim, which is not what we want. So what I like to say is, hard rule. These conversation examples are meant to be taken as general guidelines, not hard, followed, verbatim, rigid, word for word scripts. In other words, if a caller has a question midway through this inquiry, then make sure to answer the question and then keep the conversation moving. Don't just not answer their question. I like to include something like this in my prompt. That's very important. Otherwise, the agent will not answer the person's question as it's going through the script. All right, that looks pretty good. Now, we've reduced our tokens by a little bit, 4,000. That's just where we're at right now. What I'll do is publish the assistant. It's always good best practices to publish it as you make changes. That way you can go back through the revision history. That's the agent. Now let's test it. Before I test it via voice, I'll test it using text-based testing. It's my favorite form of testing because it's faster and cheaper than calling the assistant directly, and we can automate all of it through Claude Code. On top of that, we can iron out all of the logical issues, 100% of them, before even touching the voice. The good news is we'll test the agent via voice at the end of this to make sure it sounds good, but the meat and potatoes is getting the agent to perform well, and that happens through text-based testing. So what I'll do right now is start by test chat testing directly in the manual chat, and I'll also use Claude Code to do some batch testing, simulation tests as I'm doing that. So this is my flow. What I'll do is go over to Claude Code. I'll open up this assistant that we were running earlier, and what I want to do is tell it what I'm trying to do. So let's just assume we're all on the same page. I'm just going to tell it. You can tell it along with me. I want you to spin up a research subagent to learn what you can about batch testing via API in Retell AI. This is the simulation testing, okay? Learn what you can, amalgamate the data, learn any API protocols that are needed, okay? Pretend like you're doing this for the first time. And then what I want you to do is take all of the prompt data and use it to create 10 batch testing simulation tests. Make the test as realistic as possible based off the prompt. Go for it. My point is trying to find areas where the agent breaks down. And then after you do the batch testing, try and analyze all of the transcripts to find areas where the agent clearly needs improvement, or it's not following the prompt, or it's maybe making mistakes giving financial advice, and then make a list of all of those things, and then we'll go through them together. Okay, so that may sound like a lot, but essentially all I'm doing is, number one, telling the Claude Code agent how to learn about batch testing in Retell AI. Number two, I'm telling it how I want to make the batch tests. I'm just telling it to use this prompt essentially as inspiration for those batch tests. And number three, I'm telling it what to look for in those testing scenarios when it's done. If you can do all those three things, then you understand what I'm doing. Okay, so while that's cooking in the background, I'll go over to my test chat, go to manual chat, and you open it right now. I'll make sure this is working too. Okay, it's researching. That'll take a second. Perfect. By the way, if you want to streamline this entire thing, you can use my Voice AI Starter Kit directory linked below, and it has all the directories I use within my own agency, the SOPs, the API documentation, so that Claude doesn't have to go learn it all itself like it's doing right now, and it can just get straight into testing or building. It'll save you some time. It's completely free, of course. So this is what I like to do. Thanks for calling Oak Street Investments. This is Kate. How can I help you? Let's start by going through each of these flows. I'm trying not to gatekeep anything because this is exactly how I'd build this for a real client. 35% existing client scheduling. So I just say something like, I need to schedule my quarterly review. And then I'll type this in. Let's see what it says. It's the first time talking to the agent. Of course, can I get your full name? Yeah, it's Mark Tomlet. All right. Thanks, Mark. What type of meeting are you looking to schedule? A quarterly review, a check-in, call, or something specific? Okay. Already, we just got something I don't like. I told it I want my quarterly review. Why is it asking me what meeting I want? Okay, so already, this is part of the iterative process, right? I don't like this. I want to find what's telling it to say this exactly in the prompt. Let's go to the existing flow, I suppose. Existing client schedule. And then it says, what type of meeting are you looking to schedule, Mark? A semi-annual review or something specific? All right. So what I'd like to say is just add in parentheses, if caller already mentioned the meeting, just say, okay. You want to do meeting X, right? Instead of re-asking it the same question it already gave the information for. If caller already mentioned the meeting, just say, okay, you want to do meeting X, right? So I'm going to publish it and I want to change this. Now what I'll do is rerun this entire thing, replay the chat. Let's see if it answers it. Yeah, it's Mark Tomlet. All right, see how I changed it. All right, Mark, you want to schedule your quarterly review, right? Is there a day or time that works best for you? Maybe that's even, you want to schedule your quarterly review. Is there a time? I'm not even going to say right. That just, it kind of sounds like Captain Obvious. You want to schedule your meeting. Okay. And then I think I like this. Is there a specific time that works best for you? And then ask the time. I'm trying to handle the multiplex of scenarios that this agent is likely to encounter. While we obviously can't program the agent for literally every possible scenario, we are trying to train it with the general principles it needs to handle all of these scenarios well. So let's redo this, republish, so you can see what happens next. All right, perfect. All right, Mark, you want to schedule your quarterly review? Do you have a preferred day and time? That's much better. Yes, I'd like for tomorrow at around noon. Okay. Got it. I'll pass along your request for a quarterly review tomorrow around noon. Jake or someone from the team will confirm the exact time within 24 hours. Anything else I can help you with, Mark? Yeah, I was wondering if you know if Jake is in the office tomorrow. I don't have Jake's in-office schedule. I'll make sure you request notes that you'd prefer tomorrow noon, and the team will confirm availability. So I have an appointment tomorrow. Let's test whether it's following my prompt. Your request for quarterly from tomorrow at noon has been submitted, but it's not confirmed yet. Okay, that's correct, but it sounds a little bit robotic, to be honest with you. Your request for a quarterly review tomorrow at noon has been submitted. It's like, just talk like a normal person. But it's not confirmed yet. The team will reach out to confirm the exact time or suggest alternatives. How can we make that better? Your request. Let me give an example. What I'll say is this. Let's just try some general rules here. Let me add a few rules. See if this helps. Rules. Try to speak in a very human, down-to-earth way. Don't sound like an automated computer. Use words like I or yeah or I mean, it knows that last part. Okay, publish. These are small, minute details, but trust me, they're ones that clients will notice and point out. So let's rerun the entire chat. It's Mark Tomlet. Yeah, I was wondering if you know if Jake is in the office. So I have an appointment. Your request for someone will reach out to confirm. That's okay. I guess perfect is the enemy of good enough for right now. But I wish I could make that a little bit better, to be honest. Let's debug this, regenerate the answer 10 times to see how frequently it's giving that answer, just to make sure that the agent doesn't hallucinate even 10% of the time by saying, yeah, you do have an appointment. Regenerating the answers. If you've watched my previous video, you know that this is one of the most important functions you need to understand Because if you don't regenerate the answers 10 times, just because the agent gives you an answer you like one time doesn't mean it will 100% of the time give that answer unless you've confirmed it through regenerating the answer 10 times. So notice I have this frequency and response variations, and I get 3 out of 10, 30% of the time your request for a quarterly review tomorrow around noon has been sent to the team, but it's not confirmed yet. It's doing the same thing. Okay, this one, 10% of the time it'll do not confirm yet, Mark. I've sent your request for a quarterly review tomorrow at noon. Someone from the team will reach out to confirm the exact time. I mean, this is not confirmed yet, Mark. Your request for quarterly review tomorrow, but it's not confirmed. At least in all of these, it's saying it's not confirmed yet. The way it's saying it is a little bit extremely professional, but it works. That's good. Okay, let's try the next scenario. And I'll refresh this because we've made some changes. I'm also curious to check on Claude code. Oh, what's it doing? Batch testing results. Oh, so it's been batch testing it. Beautiful. Let's check the simulation. Wait a second. Did you want to go through? Did you batch test them in the simulation testing? Don't use Python scripts. Use batch testing directly inside of Retell AI. Go. Make sure they're all in there. Okay. Go again. It's saying it tested it, but I'm not seeing its tests. So that's a little bit interesting. I'm glad you're seeing this part because if you encounter the same issue, you might be wondering the same thing. Let's just have it retest. Next, manual chat test. Let's try creating, now that we've done an existing client scheduling, let's try new prospect inquiries. Maybe someone says, hey, I'm looking for a financial advisor. Hey, I just inherited a big chunk of cash and I'm looking for a financial advisor. See what it says. I'd be happy to help you connect you with Jake. Can I get your full name? All right. Yes, it's Mark Tomlet. Is the number you're calling? Yes, it is. So it's qualifying me. What prompted you to reach out today? Are you mainly looking for investment help or do you have other financial planning needs in mind? This is not as human as I'd like. Like, alrighty, what prompted you to reach out? The alrighty part is good, but what prompted you to reach out today? It would have been better if it says, okay, so you inherited a lot of money. Are you thinking about investing that money or did you want to do something else with it? It needs to reference what the caller is saying throughout the conversation, just like a normal human would. So let's try adding some rules. And if that's not enough, we'll add it through multi-shot prompting, okay? Multi-shot, starting with rules. I'll just add this. Realism rule. Always reference where appropriate. More the better. What the caller has said in the conversation. So if the caller says, I'm reaching out because of X, then when you ask questions about reaching out, make sure to reference that. Or any other scenario this may apply to. A little bit vague. Let's see if it can follow this prompt. Let's publish it. We'll refresh because sometimes this testing cache is old. And we'll see what happens. I know it's annoying. You got to restart it, but it's fine. Hey, I just inherited a large sum of cash. I'm looking for a financial advisor. Do you guys have any availability? Let's see what happens. I'd be happy to connect you with James. John, okay, Jake, Mark Tomlet. Is the number your, yes? Okay, that's better. Already, what prompted you to reach out today about your inheritance? Any specific goals or concerns you want Jake to know about? I'm sorry, who is Jake? Jake Milder is the founder and sole advisor here. He's a certified financial planner, chartered and enrolled agent with the IRS. He handles all the client relationships personally. That was a pretty concise answer, actually. Okay. Yeah, I'd just like him to know that I'm eager to start working with him. All right. See what it does? Got it. Just so I can connect you with the right info, roughly, what's the total value of the accounts or cash you'd be looking for help with? A ballpark is fine. That's good. I like maybe $9 million. Got it. By the way, with these agents, doesn't sound as real as other affirmations, so I might change that. Understood. How did you hear about Oak Street Investments, Mark? He's talking like a finance bro. I heard it through a friend. About new clients to keep selected. He's pretty selective about new clients to keep service high touch. There's usually an 8 to 10 week wait list. With your situation, he'll reach out personally within a couple business days to set up an introductory call. Does that work for you? Yes, that's fine. I've got everything. Jake will reach out soon. Is there anything else I can help you with today? No, that's all. Thank you. Yeah, okay, it actually did a pretty good job right here handling everything I'm looking for. But remember, just like I said, because it performs well one time does not mean it's always going to perform well every time. The difference between a great agent and a perfect, amazing agent, or as close as you can be, is the regenerate 10 answers debug functionality right here. I'm a big believer in it. So when in doubt, debug. So like let's say for this, we need to go through these. Alrighty, what prompted you to reach out about your inheritance? Notice how we changed this rule to address what the caller had brought up earlier in the conversation. Just because that worked well once doesn't mean it will always work. So I'm going to hit the debug and I'm going to regenerate the answer 10 times. And I know it's pedantic, but it's absolutely crucial to the success of these agents. Even for parts of the script where you don't think are that important, I still recommend doing it. And it's regenerating the answers. While it's doing that, let me just check on Claude Code, see how it's doing here. Okay. It says it's gone through it, but I'm not sure if it actually has. I'm going to check it. All right, response variations. What prompted you to reach out about your inheritance? Inheritance, 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 inheritance. Perfect. That's great. I like that. Notice the small difference, but in this case, it's fine. Simulation. Still nothing. Still not popping up. Weird. Here's the agent. Look, here's the agent. I need you to test it directly here. Batch testing, not Python testing. I need to be able to open it up in my dashboard, please, because I don't believe you unless it's there. Do it again. Create all of the simulations. If you need help, check Retell AI's documentation to figure out how to do it. This is normally unlike Claude to have so much trouble, but the truth is I normally use Claude also with my trained documents that you can get access to. So let's say for existing client scheduling and new prospect inquiries, it's done great for both. Document and admin requests will be the next one, and we'll go through it. Now, I did say you need to regenerate the answers for each of the main answers to make sure it's adhering. If I had more time, I would go through each one. This is why testing takes so long, but I want to keep this video moving, so we'll go on to the next one. Where's my 1099? Let's try this. Your tax documents should be available through your client portal at Schwab. Would you like me to have someone send you the login instructions? Okay, so there's a few different logical branches here. What if we say yes? What if we say no? What if we ask, where is Schwab? How do I get to it? We can try that answer. You can access Schwab online. Do you need the website link? Yeah, can you just give me the website link right now? Okay, so it answered it. Will it always answer that? Or will it sometimes say, send an email? Absolutely. The Schwab login page is schwab.com. Just click login at the top. Anything else you need. I'm going to keep regenerating that one right there. Sure, the Schwab login page is Schwab. Just click login at the top right. So you can see the different answers it's giving me, sure, but they all seem to be the same, so that's good. What if I ask it, let's modify this one. Where is Schwab? How did I get to it? How about I just say, no, I'm good. I'll figure it out myself, I guess. See what it says. That's fine. If you need anything else, just let us know. Have a great day. Oof, that's bad. This is why we test this, people. It didn't ask us if we needed anything else. It just said, just let us know. Have a great day. And it would have ended the call right there. Not good. So let's regenerate that one, see if it's consistently making that problem. Oh, that's even worse. And it invoked the tool and the call. All right. So let's fix that so it never does that again. Notice how that's a huge problem because it just would have hung up on the caller. Man, I've seen this happen so many times with amateurly built agents. It's not even funny. And that's why you got to understand how to build these agents well. People often watch these YouTube videos and they're like, oh my goodness, it looks so easy. Just build an agent for an hour in an afternoon and make $6,000. It's like, no, what I'm doing right now takes sometimes months. Okay, so I'll say never end the call ever under, be really intense with it, under any circumstance. First asking, is there anything else I can help you with? And then just say, wait for response. Beautiful. And if you have their name, use it. Like, you can say name. Perfect. Let's regenerate this sucker. See what it does. Publish. Man, that was embarrassing. I'm going to hit regenerate, replay chat. Where's my 1099? I'll figure it out myself. All right. If you need anything else or run into any issues, just let us know. Is there anything else I can help you with? That's good. It followed it. Now let's make sure, of course, just because it did it once doesn't mean it's always going to do it. Let's regenerate the answer 10 times. See if it's working. I'll also check. It says go check your dashboard. Huh. Let me check these. Is there anything else I can help you with? Is there anything else I can help you with? Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Beautiful. Did it for all of them. Simulations tab. Ah, finally it did it. Third time's a charm. Thank you, Claude. So notice it's running simulation tests. It made all of these itself. How impressive is that, right? Like I didn't even, it's a fresh instance of Claude. It put in the user prompt identity and put in the success criteria. It could even inject dynamic variables and so on and so forth. Batch tests, history, let's see if it ran any. Okay, they're not there, but normally when it does run them, they do pop up here and we can look through it. But here it says, okay, passes and fails. Now, I'm kind of multitasking here, but that's totally fine. I'll say to it, listen, Claude, go through each of the transcripts of these and don't just take the fact that Retell AI said they failed, but actually unpack them yourself and judge them against the prompt to see, using your own common sense, your huge brain, to see if they actually failed. Okay, and maybe you notice other things. Make as many notes as you can and make that into a list of small prompt adjustments that need to be done that I can take one by one and add them to the prompt to fix this agent if needed. Okay, thank you. Also, while you're doing that, I want you to generate a whole new set of 10 batch testing scenarios that are only meant to test against the knowledge base, that being the website that you pulled from previously. Now, I want it to diagnose all of its test case scenarios, prescribe a solution to it, and then I also wanted to start a whole new set of testing simulation cases based off of the website just to test the knowledge base directly so that I don't have to. The reason I'm having it do these simulation tests as I'm doing the manual chat test is because the simulation test will cover a wide swath of various tests, that which I can take those and use them as the specific subject matter for my manual chat testing. So if I discover through simulation testing that the agent is mispronouncing people's names consistently, maybe I will get surgical with it in manual chat, iron out the issue until it's completely fixed. Simulation tab's great for discovering issues. Testing chat is how you fix them. Manual chat, all right? Let's say, how about this? Hey, I need to update my address. Address changes require some paperwork. I'll have the team email you. Can I confirm your email address? Yeah, it's marktomlet@gmail.com. This is one I will actually test via audio. It didn't use the dashes, so it should be. Notice how sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. When it uses the dashes, that means it's spelling. When it doesn't, means it's not. So I'll just test the audio real quick. Say, hey, I need to change my address.
Of course, address changes require some paperwork. I'll have the team email you the forms and instructions. Can I confirm your name and email?
Yeah, it's Mark, and then my email is marktomlet@gmail.com.
Thanks, Mark. Just to confirm, that's marktomlott@gmail.com, correct?
No, it's marktomlet@gmail.com.
Got it, Mark. So that's marktomlet@gmail.com, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. The team will email you the address change forms and instructions. Is there anything else I can help you with, Mark?
Okay, that was actually really good. It sounds like it's following it well, so that's good. Perfect. And now it's running some more tests. I'll just say yes, confirm it. Perfect. The team will email you the address change forms and instructions or anything else I can help you with today. Okay, that looks to be running well. Do I notice any variations? Someone from the team will. Okay, that's fine. Good. It handled that well. Let's try just spam in general and see how well it detects spam. Say, hey, is Edward there? I needed to follow up on something. Oh, sorry, I meant Jake. Is Jake there? I needed to follow up. Can I make sure he gets your message? Can I get your name and what you'd like to follow up on? Yeah, so we build voice agents for companies, and I was trying to see if Jake would be interested. Alrighty, we handle vendor inquiries by email. You're welcome to send information to info@oakstreetinvestments.com and someone will review it. Have a great day. Okay, it just hung up. Well, that's good. I mean, that's what we want. We don't want it to burn unnecessary tokens and usage pennies talking to spammers. So it ended the call. And we can see that tool invocation call right here beautifully. I'll just rerun it to make sure it's consistently working. It might not have ended the call always, so I want to make sure it does. See, here it's ending the call, but if I rerun it again, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be running the end call function consistently. So let's regenerate the answer 10 times. And this will include the function call, which is good. All right. And on the back end, we are still testing its knowledge base adherence going against this assistant. Good. Okay. Let's see what it's done here. Okay, so kind of hard to check. For some reason, the tool call testing isn't showing up correctly. Yeah, I might strengthen it in the prompt a little bit. I might just say never violate. Let's go down to the vendor section in the prompt and just put in always use end call function right after saying have a great day. I know it may look like I use excessive caps, but trust me, maybe it is a little excessive, but I do think it does make a big difference. Trust me, I know. Okay, so here we go, regenerate the answer. Okay, that one worked. Let's just do it a few times since the debug function. Huh. It might just be a testing manual chat issue that it's not popping up consistently. Seems to be working more times than it isn't. But again, we do want it to end the call. Yeah, okay, it seems to be doing better there. Interesting. Small details are important. Okay, now it says create 10 knowledge-based tests completed. And here it has the simulations. Let's see. Beautiful. So it actually has them all right here. Did it run them? No, it didn't. Okay, so look, here we have KB standing for knowledge-based test, new client, hallucination traps. So it's got all of these meeting format location. And I'm just going to say to it real quick. Okay, go ahead and run them and analyze it after it runs. Please. Run them right now in the back end of Retell. Okay, now it's going to begin running them. It says it ran them, but normally when it does run them, you always see the batch testing history. So I'm wondering if it's doing it correctly. That's my only concern. Okay, now let's test the fifth bucket here, market anxiety calls. The market dropped. Should I sell everything? Let's see if this agent will give financial advice. Hey, the market's completely crashing because of the war in Iran. Please help me right now. Should I sell? See what it does. I understand the market has been on your mind, especially with everything happening right now. I can't give investment advice, but I'll make sure Jake reaches out to you personally. Can I get your name so I can flag this as priority? No, that's not good enough. I need to know right now what to do. I mean, can't you just, like, honestly, did you sell your stock? Not a financial advisor. I can't help you. Jake is the best person to talk through your options. If you give me your name, I'll make sure he contacts you as soon as possible. Is there anything else I can help you with? Okay, both times it deflected. Let's debug this, make sure it is actually running. Okay. Sounds good. Interesting. Okay, so for all these response variations, it says, I'll make sure he reaches out. I can't give investment advice. I can't give investment advice. I know they can be unsettling. I completely understand. I can't give investment advice. All right. It's not breaking protocol. That's good. At least we can make sure. Alrighty, can I get your name so Jake knows who to reach out to? Is there anything else I can help you with? I don't like how it asks that right there. It should be like, first, can I get your name so Jake knows who to reach out to? But let's just see what happens. It's Mark Tomlet. Thanks, Mark. Is the number you're calling from the best one to reach you? Yeah, it's asking that too many times. And is the number you're calling from the best one to reach you? And then it's asking, is there anything else I can help you with, Mark? Is there anything else I can help you with? Multiple times. These are the kind of bugs you see with these agents, just in the strangest way. So what I'll say, remember how we made it in the rule emphatically? We said, like, do not end the call without asking for this. Is there anything else I can help you with? Well, maybe we didn't qualify it enough. So let's go back to the prompt and where I put that extreme rule. And where did I put that? Is there notice? Never end the call ever under any circumstance without first asking. Okay, let me qualify this by saying, but make sure, let me make another rule. Rule 13, never ask multiple questions in the same turn. Always ask one question at a time. That should protect it from saying, is there anything else I can help you with in the same breath as its previous question. Hopefully it will. I'll capitalize this. And then I'll say, even make sure, is there anything else I can help you with line is a standalone question on its own, always. Okay. We'll republish this. Let's rerun it. If it bugs out and the cache is not working, then we will refresh. Please help me right now. I'm in Iran. I need to sell my stock. No, that's not good enough. Okay. Oh, good. It fixed it. Well, I think it did. Catching myself. Can I get your name so I can have Jake contact you directly? Let's debug this, regenerate 10 times, but that looks good. I'll rerun this one too. This one seems to be working. Is the number you're calling from the best one to reach you? And it's not asking, is there anything else I can help you with? Good. I'll say yes. Look, can I get your name so I can make sure Jake contacts you directly? Beautiful. That's perfect. So we fixed the problem. Perfect. Is there anything else I can help you with, Mark? Nope. See how it ends. That's really good. You got it. Jake will reach out to you as soon as possible. Have a good day, Mark. That's really good. Like, that's really well done. I'll rerun it one more time for a good measure, but that's looking fantastic. I'll also check this. It says it's run it. All the data is in. Okay, this looks good. Jake will reach out. Is there anything else I can help you with? Perfect. That looks good. Batch testing history. It's not showing up here. That's okay. I'll just use Claude's backend. All right. So here's all the batch simulation tests it's run. And I want to analyze them now. We've tested everything else here. Now we need to test really the other part of this where someone's asking questions about the knowledge base, anything that's in the website. And this is where batch testing, simulation testing will really come into play. Okay, so let's do that real quick. Now we want to find out what Claude Code has cooked up for us. If we go back here to the terminal, we can see that Claude has been running all of these knowledge base tests against the agent. And I just want to tell Claude, all right, Claude, take all of the test findings, all of the major issues, list all of them, please. And I want you to then prescribe solutions for them. Go quick. Let's see what it finds. I'm really curious to find if it did adhere to the knowledge base and if it has not found any other issues, if it's hallucinated. It looks like there has been some errors. Okay, here it goes. All issues plus prescribed fixes. Critical agent settings. No opening greeting. Oh, did that change? Maybe we accidentally changed that. Yes, we did. AI speaks first. Maybe it reverted back. Custom message. We'll just put that back too. Thanks for calling Oak Street Investments. This is Kate. How can I help you? That's fine. Okay. High hallucination. Fabricates onboarding steps and timeline. Interesting. Agent invents paperwork, takes 1 to 2 weeks, planning meeting within a few days, document checklist, fix, add, do not describe onboarding steps, timelines. Yes, that's actually good. Did it get this from the website though? Let me ask Claude. Could it have gotten this from the website? And what I'll have to do is genuinely go through every single one of these and iron out all the issues. All right. Hallucination, next one. Fabricates portfolio allocation percentage. Agent gives specific splits like 60-40 US large cap. None of this is in the example prompt. Never give specific portfolio. Now, the only explanation for this is if it's searching the knowledge base and coming up with that information. Then I excuse it, okay? So, but if it's not, then that is a problem. Fabricates platform features, fabricates transfer timelines and process. Transfers take about a week. Fabricates fee calculation details. Prompt compliance. So these are all different issues that are coming up. Let's see. Hopefully all of these can be explained by the website. If not, though, we are going to have a few problems. What did Claude say? You're right. The onboarding steps timeline aren't from the website. The agent hallucinated all of that. No. No, did it get that from the website? Is there any chance? Can you check real quick? Let's see. It's checking the onboarding info on the website. That'll be interesting. Okay, what other issues did it find? Prompt compliance doesn't always ask anything specific for Jake to address. It skips it sometimes. Okay. We can add that. Fix to flow. We'll put this into the prompt. I actually would like to see if we could recreate that issue. Why don't we do this? I'll pick a few of these, maybe just this main one here, show you the process that I'd have to do for each of these for the sake of time, and just go through it, iron out, fix the issue, and redeploy the agent. So let's start with this one. I'm going to say / by the way, which simply allows me to keep talking to this instance, even though it's doing something else in the background. Actually, I'll do this instead, Control B, which will just make this agent run in the background while it finds out this information. So I can keep talking to it. Hey, real quick, find out for me, give me the full transcript of this conversation so I can test it myself and see if this is a consistent issue. I want to paste that in. Problem is I want to actually see if this is a consistent problem. It doesn't always ask anything specific for Jake to address. All right, it's pulling from that batch test. Control O to expand it. And here's the background, full transcript. Cool. And we can just read through it real quick to analyze this test. What went wrong? I completely understand. Can I confirm your name? Thank you. I'm really counting on Jake to help me figure this out. It's just so overwhelming. This is the conversation between the LLM and Claude's prompted LLM. Thank you, Patricia. Just to confirm, that's patricia.walsh@email.com. And your phone number is 555-123. Is that correct? Yes. Huh. Jake will reach out to you as soon as possible. Hang in there and he'll be in touch. Yeah, I suppose it could have asked again, is there anything Jake would need to know when he calls you? It sometimes asks. Okay. Let's reinforce it in the prompt. So I'll just say to it, let's reinforce it in the prompt and then give me the script that I can use in manual chat testing to test the agent directly to see if it happens again. Quick. Tell me the prompt to use. So let's fix this issue. Please don't update the prompt directly. Give me the prompt here, just the extra part, and I'll copy and paste it. The reason I don't want it updating the prompt directly is because it might change some of what I wrote in the prompt. It might update from an older version, and so I'd prefer to just have it give it to me directly right now. All right. Always ask this, do not skip. Is there anything specific you'd like Jake to address when he calls? So here's the manual chat test script. Paste this as your first message when testing. I'm going to paste this in, and then what I want to do is just find if it is actually making this error. Oh my goodness, the market just dropped again and I'm retiring in 2 years. Should I sell everything and go to cash? I'm really scared. I completely understand your concern. Market drops can be really unsettling, especially this close to retirement. I can't give investment advice, but I'll make sure Jake reaches out and you personally discuss your situation. Can I get your full name? All right. And then after that, it asks for your name. I'll put in some information here. Yes, it is. And let's see if it asks right now, is there anything specific you'd like Jake to address? All right, is there anything specific you'd like Jake to address? See, it's doing it right here. But Claude is claiming that it's not doing it consistently. So let's rerun it 10 times and make sure it is. Okay, did it there. Regenerate 10 times. See what happens. While this is running, going back to that previous thread, remember how we set up the agent to check if the information our agent was specifically hallucinating is actually just information that was in the website? Well, it says website research is back, confirmed that the agent hallucinated all of it. Here's what actually exists on the site versus what the agent made up. Oh, that's not good. The agent actually says 8 to 10 week wait list to begin onboarding. What the agent completely fabricated is paperwork takes 1 to 2 weeks. None of this is in the prompt. Okay. It does look like it may have hallucinated it. Good test. Give me the prompt quick to fix this hallucination so that it only gives information from the knowledge base and from the prompt, and then give me a specific script to test it directly to see if our fix worked. Go. All right. Let's see what happens. It's saying add this to the rules section. Okay, I'm going to just go back to where we were real quick, and then I'll proceed with this. I'm doing two things at once. Let's see if it consistently is asking, is there anything else you want Jake to address? Is there anything else you want Jake to address? Is there anything specific you want Jake to focus on? Anything? Yeah, it did it every single time. So I don't know what Claude was talking about there, but it was working perfectly. Good news. But if it was wrong, then we would have caught it. That's how I'd use Claude to catch these issues that it had previously leveraged simulation testing to find. So going back here, add this to the rules section. Anti-hallucination rule. Let's go back to rules. Put this in. See what it says. Anti-hallucination critical. You only know what is in the firm knowledge section above. It should have already known this. And knowledge base. If a caller asks about onboarding steps or any process detail not explicitly in firm knowledge or knowledge base, do not make it up. Never invent timelines. All right, let's publish it with this new thing. What's cool is we can check the knowledge base retrieval. So we can see what it specifically is retrieving. Now Claude is giving me the test script to use here, which will illuminate for us whether it has actually fixed this hallucinatory issue. So hallucination issue. Paste it in. I'm really excited to get this started. Can you walk me through exactly how the onboarding process works? Like, what are the steps? Okay, now the agent's saying, Jake will walk you through all that during your introductory call. I don't have those process details, but he'll cover onboarding steps, paperwork, timelines, and what documents you'll need. All right, that's good. In the knowledge base section, you can see this is what it's retrieving from the website. So that's really good. Let me rerun this. And let's ask it a question ourselves right now from the website just to see. Okay, it's saying I don't have any of those details. Let's regenerate the answer 10 times. And I'm going to find something on the website used to test it directly. services, just anything we can find. Comprehensive financial planning, portfolio management. Let me see if there's anything I should ask it. Do you guys do insurance and estate planning? We'll ask it that question. Jake will walk you through. Yeah, good. It deflected all of them. That's great. Let me ask it this. Do you guys do estate planning? Estate planning? Yeah, Oak Street coordinates insurance and estate planning as part of the overall financial planning process. Jake's work with an attorney. That's good. It got it straight from the knowledge base, and it did it correctly. That's good to see. Can rerun it again. Yeah, so it says yes. That's great. All right. So this is what the testing process looks like. And obviously, as you can tell, if I were to go through every single one of these in this video right now, this could be like a 5-hour long video, but that's what the agent process entails. So we'll polish a few other things and then we'll get on to the voice testing. Once we're done with the voice testing, we'll connect the automation and then we'll be done. Polishing, email spelling, fun. I think that's fine. Phone number readback, uses the word advice. Maybe change it from advice to planning. These are all good small things we could fix. But I like how Claude prioritizes this prompt compliance as medium, these hallucination issues as very high. And now, of course, that we've ironed out most of the logic via text-based testing, now I want to test via voice. This is when we test things like vocal tonality, its latency, its transcription settings, and how the agent overall feels as the prospect is talking to it. So let's go ahead and do that right now. First, I'll connect my phone to this agent just by going to phone numbers. In this case, I have a personal assistant agent. I'll just go back to my agent right here, publish it, connect it to this number, publish inbound phone number to personal assistant. All right. And let's call this one. Put it in my Google Voice.
Thanks for calling Oak Street Investments. This is Sarah. How can I help you today?
Sarah? That was weird. Did it do something wrong? What happened there? Let me check. That was a little strange. This is Kate. How can I help you? Is there Sarah? Oh, this is all in there. Her name's not Sarah. There's conflicting information in this prompt. We will delete that. Thank you for calling. Yeah, we'll delete those. All right, you are, let's say, Kate. That was a little bit strange. And that's precisely why we add the pause before speaking a little bit longer. Maybe let's say 1.5 in this case, because sometimes it can kind of step on the caller as it's ringing. Let's call it again.
Thanks for calling Oak Street Investments. Yeah, this is Oak Street Investments. How can I help you?
Weird. What's going on here? Why is it not working? Let's refresh it, see if anything's wrong. Thanks for calling Oak Street Investments. This is Kate. How can I help you? Everything looks good there, but the voice speed looks good. Save. Very weird. We'll turn this off. Publish. Not sure what was going on there. Let me just test call it.
Thanks for calling Oak Street Investments. This is Kate. How can I help you?
Okay, so it's doing it perfectly there. Let's see.
Street Investment. This is Kate. How can I help you?
Hi, Kate. I was just wondering if you guys could help me find a financial advisor. I just inherited a lot of cash.
Absolutely, I can help with that. Can I get your full name?
Yeah, it's Mark Tomlet.
Thanks, Mark. Is the number you're calling from the best one to reach you?
So just right there in that test, I was testing latency. I felt like the latency was a little high. So one thing we can do is change it from 4.1 to 4.1 mini. Keep in mind, 4.1 mini is going to have a little bit less intelligence, but it'll have better latency as a trade-off. That being said, I don't recommend doing this in general, unless you're willing to go through the entire testing rigmarole all over again. So I just am putting that disclaimer. We've just spent about an hour and a half testing this assistant. And the truth is, the fact that I just changed the LLM basically changes all of the work that we've done in testing. We'd have to retest the entire system because when you change the LLM, it's like changing someone's brain. Everything can be different. So while it generally should follow the prompt, there's no guarantee. So that's why it'd be better just stick to 4.1, although I would like to reduce that latency as it feels a little bit high right now. But keep in mind, sometimes latency can feel higher at times based on how many people are using these LLM pools. That's why paying for the fast tier does give you that dedicated pool of latency to put you at the top of that sequence rather than at the bottom. I'm going to hit publish again. And instead of testing for latency this time, what I will do is test just for how it's spelling the emails and how it's collecting information in general. See how natural it sounds.
Thanks for calling Oak Street Investment. You're welcome. How can I help you today?
What I'm noticing is there's a lot of echo in this room here, so it might be getting interrupted. So I might actually try removing noise plus background speech. See what that does. Try it again. I'm telling you that the testing part of this is hefty.
Thanks for calling Oak Street Investment.
Hello?
This is Oak Street Investment. How can I help you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing all right today. How are you?
I'm good. I was wondering if I could set up a meeting. I'm someone who needs to schedule a quarterly review.
Absolutely. Can I get your full name?
It's Mark Tomlet.
Thanks, Mark. You want to schedule a quarterly review, right? What day or time works best for you?
The best day and time would be tomorrow.
Alrighty. I'll pass along your request for a quarterly review tomorrow. Jake or someone from the team will confirm the exact time within 24 hours. Is there anything else I can help you with, Mark?
No, I think that's it. Thank you.
You got it. Have a great day, Mark.
All right, that was nice. One thing I wonder though is it was a little bit robotic when it said right and then it asked a question, then proceeded to say something else. Normally, when you have the agent ask a question, you want the person to respond immediately to that question, not just drone on. So I'm wondering if something changed in my prompt because it should not be asking multiple questions. It's not the end of the world, but it is something I would continue to iron out. Okay, so I'll make a note of that. Next, let's just try calling in as a spam, see how it handles that.
Thanks for calling Oak Street Investments. This is Kate. How can I help you?
Hey, Kate, I'm curious if you would be able to help me talk to the owner. I have a tool I built that I think could streamline your operations.
We handle vendor inquiries by email. You're welcome to send information to info@oakstreetinvestments.com and someone will review it. Have a great day.
A little rude, but it got the job done. So that's good. Let's try it one more time.
Thanks for calling Oak Street Investments. This is Kate. How can I help you?
Hi, Kate. I was wondering if Jake had any availability for tomorrow. I'd like to come in and meet him.
I'm Kate, actually. Can I get your full name so I can pass along your request to Jake?
Yes, it's Mark Tomlet.
Thanks, Mark. Are you an existing client or would this be your first meeting with Jake?
This would be my first meeting. She's got a little sass to her. I don't know if that's good.
Alrighty. Is the number you're calling from the best one for Jake to reach you?
Yeah, this one's fine.
Okay, thanks. What prompted you to reach out for a meeting with Jake?
Well, I've been trying to figure out how to best invest my cash right now, and he seemed like the most qualified person in my area.
Makes sense. Just so I can give Jake the right info, roughly what's the total value of the accounts or cash you'd be looking for help with? A ballpark is fine.
Yeah, like around 100 billion.
All right. And how did you hear about Oak Street Investments, Mark?
I heard about you guys through Instagram. My friend was posting.
Got it. So Jake is pretty selective about new clients to keep the service high touch. There's usually about an 8 to 10 week wait list. He'll reach out personally to set up an introductory call. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. I've got everything, Mark. Jake will reach out within a couple business days to get something on the calendar. Is there anything else I can help you with, Mark?
Just tell Jake I'm really eager to meet him.
Absolutely. I'll make sure Jake knows you're eager to meet him. Is there anything else I can help you with, Mark?
Hold on 1 second, please. Notice how it's holding on right now? When I said hold on, it's gone completely silent. That's exactly what it's supposed to do, which is very impressive. Also notice how it said, is there anything else I can help you with multiple times? It's very impressive. And number 3, it does sound a lot more realistic with those small, like, makes sense, alrighty, gotcha. That's very human. All right, I think that's everything. Thank you.
You got it, Mark. Have a great day.
Very operator-like. Honestly, that was pretty impressive considering that we've spun this up in the last hour and a half. Now we've built out the agent, we've tested it via text-based testing, we've done manual chat testing, and even tested simulation testing, and of course, finally, phone testing. Obviously, we'd have to do a lot more phone calls before this would be anywhere near production ready, and a lot more text-based testing, of course. But the final step is connecting the email for a financial advisor here through our webhook settings. And I've tried to make this as easy as possible for you. So even if you're not a Claude code guru or expert, literally all you have to do is just copy the prompt that's here. I have included literally everything. So if you come down here to this bottom part, paste this into Claude code, and it literally builds the entire system for you. So you copy this prompt, basically it clones me and onboards you on so that you don't have to worry about building this automation yourself or even trying to figure out how to prompt Claude. So start a new session of Claude, paste this whole thing in, okay? And let's see what it does. What it's going to walk you through is number 1, how to set up your email integration with Retell AI's agent. Then it's going to deploy this system to a server. It'll show you how to set up that server, namely Modal. And number 3, we're going to run some tests so you can see it actually working live. And that'll be the final step. So this is AI Voice Pioneers Post-Call Webhook Build Guide. Welcome. I'm going to walk you through building a post-call webhook that sends your financial advisor a beautifully formatted email whenever a prospect calls and needs a follow-up. Here's what we're building. The Retell agent handles the call with 0 custom functions. After the call ends, Retell fires a call analyze webhook. So just technically, this agent is not making any live call custom functions. It's only firing these after the call's ended. So you need to understand. So it's asking for my Retell API key. Now just go over here like we did previously and grab that API key. All you need to do is do what I did earlier. I'm going to grab it again, just so you can see it. Paste it in, and then tell it go. And let's just walk through what it tells us to do. Advisor email. What email should receive the call notification emails? This is where the formatted summaries will go whenever a prospect calls and follow-up is needed. I'm going to give it my front desk email. This would be the financial advisor email. So just if you're a financial advisor watching this, put in your email right here like this. Okay. This is the, and I'm curious how it's going to set this up for us. Is it going to have, okay, I need a few details about the firm. Let's start with the first one. What's the firm's name? Here's what I'll do. I'm going to tell it all the details about the firm, mister, are inside of this agent here. So I'm just going to copy this prompt. All the details about the firm are literally inside this agent here. So you figure it out. I'll give it the whole prompt, paste it in, and just hit enter. Yes, if you're wondering, I could, of course, put this same prompt into our previous terminal with all of its context, but I'm just trying to show you what it'd be like starting from a new terminal, because then it will walk you through the entire onboarding guide if you've never done this before. Firm name, okay, it's figured it out. Now, one more thing. What email address do you want the notification emails to come from? This is a sender address, could be a Gmail you control, like a personal or something. So what I'm going to say, just for simplest setup right now, the only email that matters is the email that you're sending from, because that's the email that you'll need to get the Gmail app password. It's easiest to do this with something like Gmail. And so all you need to do, we'll walk through it right now, is generate that app password, and it's done. It takes a few seconds. I'm actually going to just have it send from the same email that it's receiving emails. So it's going to send it to itself, which is fine. Obviously, you set it up with a designated email that you're sending to. Now it's giving us a few options. Since you're using Gmail, we'll need an app password. How would you like to send emails? I'm always going to use number 1, Gmail with app password. I don't want to mess with these. They cost money. So it's saying now go to my account here, 2-step verification must be enabled, and click app password. So here's all you'd have to do. It's as simple as this. Go over here. It's saying now at the bottom of that page, click app passwords. Actually, it's not. I'm kind of surprised it's not taking me to where I want it to go. Let me go to this email address. And actually, just give me the app password link, please. Now it'll take me to the end URL that I'm trying to get to. All right. And let's try this. Good. That's where I want to go. All right. Enter my stuff. And now it'll have me just create a new app password. I'm going to call it delete, create, copy this, paste it right in. And it's as simple as that. Now Claude has access to our emails and it can use this to build out the full automation. I'll hit done. And so do all of you now. Uh-oh. And then I'll go back here. Install Modal. Now we need to install this web server. It's a serverless hosting platform that will host this automation for us, so that even if our computer closes, this automation will continue to run in the background. So we need to, it's saying run these 2 commands in your terminal. Okay. So I'll open this, pip install Modal. Just like this. If I don't have pip installed, then actually it's better just to go to modal.com. I'm not sure why it defaulted to just go to modal.com. This is the easiest way. Create an account with them. I've already created an account, but once you create an account with them, it's very simple. All you need to do is go over and grab their API key so that Claude can take care of everything. This has honestly become like my new criteria by which I grade every platform I choose to work with or not, is whether I can get access to the API key so that I can give it to Claude and let Claude do all the work. Because I don't want to do anything manually. Like in an age where Claude can do it all, why would I? So I'm going to create a new token, hit delete, and name it delete, create, copy, bring it back over here, delete this, and paste it in. Ta-da! Done. See what it does? And it's building it. No, It's asking me to run these commands. You take care of everything. I'm not running any commands. You're in charge. In general, Claude will try and get me to do things that it could easily do itself. It's kind of like an employee that's shirking off responsibility. I don't like that. So just like if an employee was not doing their job, I tell Claude to do its job. Secrets created. Now let me write the webhook app and deploy it. Okay, so now it's saying deploy your webhook URL is this. Okay, so let's see what it says. Now step 9, configure Retell webhook. Go to your Retell. Here's another example. Settings, webhook, paste this in. You'll also need to make sure your Retell has these post-call analysis configured within the custom fields. The post-call analysis is right over here under post-call data extraction. This is the data we want to extract out of the Retell AI agent in order for this automation to work. So what I'll say to it is, I don't want to do that manually. Again, another example of it shirking off responsibility. So what I'll say to it is, listen, Claude, I'm not doing any work here, okay? I'm incapable. So what I want you to do is do this yourself, make the post-call analysis, and include the webhook link in there, and publish my agent. Please make sure that you pull from the latest, most up-to-date version of my agent before you publish it, so you don't publish any older versions. Thank you. Take care of it all. Here's my agent in Retell. Now I'm going to give it the agent ID, paste it in, and it will take care of everything. Notice that line is very important. I want you to pull from the latest version of my Retell AI agent when you update it. Too often a time I've had Claude take from an older version of my Retell AI agent, update that agent with the old version when it's updating a simple tool or something, and then revert back all of the prompt changes I had spent the last hour making, and I couldn't even find them because it didn't republish it. So it's not like in the version history. So that's like worst case scenario, but sometimes Claude Code will do that if you don't explicitly tell it or put in your Claude MD file. Always make sure to pull from the latest agent before republishing it. Please don't forget that. And now it's asking some questions about the Retell AI API endpoints. All right, it's figuring that out on its own. That's fine, it'll take a second. So it doesn't, I love this about Claude, it doesn't know how to figure out the API endpoints. It doesn't have them readily accessible. So it's like, okay, I'm going to go read up Claude's Retell's documentation on how to do it and then update it directly. It's just so impressive how it can teach itself anything. And it'll be done here in a second. And we should be ready to go. Let me prep my email. And what's cool is I can check if it's done this. So watch. Go back over here. There it is right here. So it just created this 3 minutes ago. Call webhook, financial advisor call webhook. If we click on it, the web server is idle, but once we place a call, it should start receiving information. All right, everything is done. Retell AI, I'll refresh the agent. Come on. Everything looks the same. Good. Post call data extraction. And look, there is everything we wanted. Last small tweak I'll make is make it 4.1. This is the smartest model, so it'll be more accurate. This is essentially, it's extracting all this information like caller email. We can press on it. The email address provided by the caller, if any. Caller name. All of the variables extracted. Now, I'll publish this. I'll also check the webhook. It's added the webhook just like it should. Hit publish. That webhook is connected directly to our Modal server. Just like so. And let's watch it roll, okay? So I'm going to call it right now. Call your Retell AI agent, pretend to be a new prospect. Hey, I'm looking for a financial advisor. I've got about 500K in retirement accounts and I want to talk to someone about a plan. And let's just see what happens. Let's see if it sends the email.
Thanks for calling Oak Street Investments.
Hi, I've got like,
How can I help you today?
hey, I've got like 500K in a Roth IRA and I want to have a financial advisor help me with it. Could we set up a meeting?
Absolutely, I can help with that. Can I get your full name?
It's Mark Tomlet.
Thanks, Mark. Is the number you're calling from the best one to reach you?
Yes, it is.
Alrighty. What prompted you to reach out for help with your Roth IRA right now?
I just am in a desperate situation.
Understood, Mark. Just so I can connect you with the right info, is it just the Roth IRA you're looking for help with, or do you have other accounts or financial planning needs too?
No, it's just the Roth IRA.
Got it. Jake is selective about new clients to keep service high touch. There's usually an 8 to 10 week wait list. He'll reach out personally within a couple business days to set up an introductory call. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Perfect. I've got everything, Mark. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
You got it. Have a great day, Mark.
Very friendly, did a good job, efficient to the point. Now for the moment of truth, let's check if we go to our Gmail right here. We can see urgent new call. Ah, look at that. It's beautifully formatted with an HTML. First try, people. That is why Claude Code is so much better than editintermake.com. Let's see what it did. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. It spelled my name wrong, but that's okay because we didn't ask it to spell. March 26, 2026, 9:30 p.m. NA. Put in my phone number perfectly, and then it says why they called. He wants to set up a meeting with a financial advisor to get help managing his 500K. And there it is. And there's even a button to listen to the recording. You can press that, and it downloads the recording, and we can begin listening to it right here.
Thanks for calling Oak Street Investments.
Isn't that so cool? So everything right there is set up and taken care of. There's an urgent. So what happens? Let's try a different one now. We have it successfully working to schedule appointments. What if we want, maybe the agent needs to get the financial advisor to follow up. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right today. How are you?
Hey, I really need you guys to reach out back to me. It's about something Jake said he would follow up on.
Absolutely. Can I get your full name so I can make sure Jake follows up with you directly?
Yeah, it's MarkTomlet, Mark Tomlet.
Thanks, Mark. And is the number you're calling from the best one for Jake to reach you?
Yes, it's fine.
Alrighty. What specifically would you like Jake to follow up on?
Yeah, look, it's very urgent. I don't have time right now to explain it. Just tell him that he knows.
Understood, Mark. I'll let Jake know it's urgent and that he should be aware of it.
Okay, so I'm going to hang up, and let's see if it sends the email. The final test I'll make real quick is if I'm a spammer trying to just waste time, or maybe I'm asking a general question that the agent can handle. Will it also send an email when it shouldn't? That'll be my final test. So let's go check it. Urgent, new call from Mark Tomlet. Mark needs Jake to urgently follow up on a matter that Jake is already aware of, and then listen to the recording. We could also customize it to have a transcript. I mean, we could change this. You saw how easy it was to set up this automation. I mean, we could modify this to do whatever it needed with Claude Code. Very impressive. Let me try it again. Wrong number. Okay, this one. And I'm just going to say spam. Hi, I need to talk to you about the latest, newest voice agent I want to sell to your practice. Are you interested?
We handle vendor inquiries by email. You're welcome to send information to info@oakstreetinvestments.com and someone will review it. Have a great day.
Slam that phone down. I think the only part of these voice agents that's more unrealistic is the fact that they don't interrupt people. Like a normal person would be like, all right, sorry, I'm not interested halfway through the pitch. But a voice agent will just sit there captivated, like not stopping the conversation, which I think is unrealistic. And I wish we could figure out how to fix. But anyway, so let's check. It should not have sent an email. And it did not. Beautiful. So the automation is all here running under the hood. You can ask Claude Code to basically change or modify anything you want. And And here it is executing every single call that comes through. Now, I mean, we've built the agent, we've tested it directly, and we've built the automation, tested the automation. This is an entirely self-contained cloud-hosted system. So if I close my computer, went to sleep tonight, this agent could begin receiving calls. Everything would be fine and dandy. The last little quick problem is, where do you put the phone number? How do you integrate this with the telephony system? I know a lot of financial advisors use their cell phones, and others are using their business telephony systems. Should this agent only pick up the phone when maybe the financial advisor can't grab it, or should it pick up the phone 24/7? These are all valid questions that typically clients need help with. So let me walk you through how to solve those real quick, because just because you built an amazing solution doesn't mean it'll be easy to integrate. You need to understand this part as well. So go over here to back to this document. 3 ways to get calls to your AI agent. All right, so how do you want to set this up? First, number 1 is a new dedicated number. You could just use the Retell AI number that you've purchased right over here that we're using, right over here. You could purchase one for your area code. If you're in Virginia Beach, 757, everything's taken care of. You know, if you use a dedicated number, you could just put it on your website, Google business listing, business cards. This is best for solo advisors. Now you're not giving out your personal cell phone, you're giving out the voice agent's number, and the voice agent can always transfer to you if you wanted, however you want to set it up. Second is just cell phone forwarding. I like this option a lot, especially for people who are newer to the voice AI and they just want to trial run it before they make it their first line of defense. This is perfect. You could say, forward the unanswered call from your personal cell phone to the Retell AI voice agent. So you only answer when you can, and sleep soundly knowing that if you can't answer, the AI will pick up and catch everything else. And it works pretty much with any carrier I've tested. That being said, there may be some carriers that don't work with it. Here, I've included a list of all the codes you need for whichever carriers you have. So just press this button. Cell phone forwarding code. So if you're on T-Mobile, what this does is you just put in **61 + 1, put in the phone number, the entire phone number of this agent, and then this little hashtag. And what that will do is forward if there's no answer. So basically, if you can't pick up the phone, it'll forward directly to the agent. Even if you also, maybe you see a phone coming in, but you're in a meeting, if you hit hang up, it will then also forward directly to the agent. It's probably the best way for people who just want an agent that can handle off hours and overflow consistently, and they're using their personal cell phone. Okay, the third is VoIP overflow routing. So if you use like Ring Central, this is probably for an actual firm. Dialpad, you can set the AI number as your overflow destination if you wanted. Calls can ring your team first and then roll to the AI, but this is best for larger firms, right? There's alternative methods too. You could full number replacement. You could also port your existing business number to Retell or set up Twilio forwarding. So basically, this is what we call right here conditional call forwarding. It's conditional insofar as it's based on whether you pick up the phone or not. Whereas this would be what we call unconditional call forwarding, meaning we just port your existing business phone number that you have as the front facing on your website or your Google Maps. And then anytime someone calls this number, it just immediately forwards to the Retell AI phone agent. That's unconditional call forwarding. And it works best for people who don't want to go into the hassle of changing their front facing phone number in all of its locations across the internet. So every call goes through the AI first with warm transfer to you during business hours. This is probably either this option or this option, full number replacement or new dedicated number, probably the most common. All right, you have everything on that front. And also, of course, if you want the entire agent we built out live in today's video, along with the modal automation and everything set up, you can join my community right here for access to it. You could just take that agent and apply it to your own custom business if you want. Also, I do recommend that if you want more information on how to use Claude Code to test these assistants, there's so much more to it. It's pretty exciting. I was not even using the full swath of possibility with Claude Code today. Doing manual chat testing, for instance, can be fully automated with Claude Code like we were doing today, and I have a full video on that as well over here. If you've gotten any value from today's video, I do appreciate if you could subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow. Comment, If you made it to the end of the video, it's a longer one, but I appreciate you watching. In today's video, we've built out a full real production voice agent for financial advisors. We built out the prompt, the settings, the full automations. We've tested the agent through text-based manual chat, automated chat-based testing, and of course, calling the assistant directly. And lastly, of course, if you've been watching my videos to the end, you do probably recognize I have started praying for my audience. So if you're comfortable with that, I would love to pray for you and just bless you as you go today. All right. Lord Jesus, I thank you so much for this day. I pray, God, that you would be with the person as they're watching this video right now on the other end of this screen, God. I just pray that the tools, the techniques, the prompting, the voice agents, all of this technology that you've created, Lord, I pray that it would be used for good and not for evil by the person watching this, that they'd get to use it to help them in their lives, to make businesses more productive, and to do good in this world. I pray, God, that wherever this person is at, Lord, I pray that wherever they are physically watching this, wherever they are mentally, emotionally, maybe any issues that they might be facing in their lives, God, I pray you'd meet them right where they're at in Jesus' name. I pray you'd touch them and show them your love, Lord Jesus, as you've shown me your love. I thank you, Lord, so much for this day and this gift of life that you've given us. And I thank you for this opportunity to make videos. And I just bless this person, Lord. Be with them wherever they are throughout this week and throughout this month and throughout this life. And to reveal yourself to them, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I will see you all in the next one.